Okay, so let's talk about a functional pelvic floor. So we really don't want to have an underactive pelvic floor, but we also don't want to have an overactive pelvic floor.
Yeah, that's right. The pelvic floor has a degree of tone to it, so how strong it is doesn't always reflect how much tone there is. So when we're talking about an underactive pelvic floor, it's often that we're thinking about a pelvic floor that's weak and doesn't have that lift that we would like. And obviously we want to get more strength to it because we're trying to avoid things like incontinence, prolapse and whatnot. But then you've also got the overactive pelvic floor, which is actually more common than you would think. There's a lot of focus on the underactive pelvic floor. And that's women who have a lot more tone to their pelvic floor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're strong.
Right, so I guess the big key here is that when we're pregnant, we get told, do your pelvic floor, do your pelvic floor. And that's great. We definitely want to be able to do that, but we don't want to overdo it either.
Yeah.
So we were talking about engagement and making sure that we're getting our contraction, but we also really want that release as well.
Exactly. We want to make sure that we're getting the strength benefits of doing the exercise, but it's not to say that the longer you hold, the better at its maximum. The muscle itself is only designed to hold at its maximum for a little bit and then reduce back down to its resting tone. And if we overdo it, we're more likely to have an overactive pelvic floor that can lead to other problems, things like pain and discomfort like that. So being able to relax the pelvic floor between each of your exercise efforts is really what you should be focusing on when you're doing it.
Yeah, fantastic. And when we're talking, like say we go to the gym and we pick up one dumbbell and we're trying to do, one bicep curl, we're not going to be holding it forever. We need to be able to release it.
That's right.
But we also don't necessarily just want to do one because it's going to be helpful, but it's not going to be as helpful as doing our regular sets. Yeah,
you won't get anywhere just doing one repetition. So with pelvic floor, it's the same thing. You can think of it as a skeletal muscle because that's what it is, like the muscles that we work when we go to the gym. So focusing on doing repetitions and sets of repetitions is key, and being able to challenge yourself when you do it. So you want to be able to focus on the muscle and feel tired when you're trying to do the exercise to see the strength benefits.
Yeah, perfect. So a 10-second hold is good, but we also want to make sure that we can work towards a 20-second hold, a 30-second hold, and build that strength up as well. Fantastic. So making sure that we do our pelvic floor exercises, but really we need to also make sure that we're letting go and letting there be some release as well.
Yep.
Fantastic.